As we have told, Dryden has written this as a satire and as a mock heroic poem. So when we go through the poem, you will understand what are the elements of mock heroic poem. We'll start with the annotated text. All human things are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarch must obey. Now, this is the quotation, and he says that every human being is a mortal being, Nashwar hai, and when fate summons, that is, when destiny is there, monarchs must obey. So, from here itself, the mocking begins. Here he is, although he has written about monarchs, but he is referring to very bad poets and very bad authors. This Macflecknoe found who, like Augustus Young, was called to empire and had governed long. Now, here, please take a note of this allusion. Augustus is referred here to Augustus Caesar, born as Octavius and adopted by Julius Caesar. He became one of the three rulers of Rome in 43 BC. So, here he has compared this foolish and dull and stupid emperor who was called by his father and has compared him to Augustus. Look at the mocking. Was called to empire and had governed long. In prose and verse was owned without dispute through all realms of nonsense absolute. So, what kind of king he was? He was well chosen because far distance also there was not a single person who could match his stupidity without any dispute, without any question, without any debate. This person, when he was chosen the king, was the most nonsense person, and he was an absolute idiot. Moving forward, this aged prince now flourishing in peace. Now this old fellow, this old stupid fellow is now getting retired and blessed with issue of a large increase. Now he has to look beyond his empire. Worn out with business, did at length debate to settle the succession of the state. Now, as he has grown old, he has to look for somebody who will take after the reign. As a successful king, when he grows old, he has to move forward, and what he does, he has to give his throne to his son. But he has to look for somebody who is very capable, who is very who can face all sorts of challenges. So to settle the succession of the state and pondering, remember the word pondering. Pondering is to keep on thinking, pondering which of all his sons was the fit. Now he was looking, which of my son I can give to take the throne. But that is what mocking is all about. He is looking for somebody who is the best out of the waste to reign and wage immortal war with wit. My dear students, please take a note of it. Somebody he is looking, somebody to look take the throne where he can, who has waged an immortal war with wit, जिसका बुद्धि सद्बुद्धि और दिमाग से जन्म जन्म तक का लड़ाई है. cried its resolve cried its resolve, for nature pleads that he should only rule who most resembles me. Now the king said, ऐसा ही आदमी को ये पोस्ट मिलना चाहिए जो बिल्कुल मेरे ही जैसा हो, बल्कि मेरे से ज्यादा बेवकूफ हो, बल्कि मेरे से ज्यादा डल हो, मेरे से ज्यादा इडियट हो. मेच्योर इन शुड ओनली रूल हु मोस्ट रिजेंबल्स मी. तो ऐसा ये सारा क्राइटेरिया में कौन फिट हो रहा है? शेडवेल अलोन इज माई परफेक्ट इमेज बियर्स. So the king has found his hire. The king has found that yes, this is the most eligible person, and the person is Shadwell alone. My perfect image bears mature in dullness, means he has got so much experience in dullness from his tender years, right from the beginning, right when he was young. He has showed that he is a real idiot. Shadwell alone of all my sons is he who stands confirmed in the full stupidity. He alone, like as a king who looks for somebody कि जिसको मैं अपना राज दे दूं तो वो पूरे राज को संभालेगा अपनी वीरता से, अपना करेज से. नाउ द सेम वे मैक्फ्लेनो हैज फाउंड शैडवेल एज द वर्स्ट आउट ऑफ worst person, in fact the best worst person to look after the kingdom of stupidity, kingdom of foolishness, because he says he has waged an immortal war of wit, and who stands confirmed in full stupidity has ticked all the boxes of stupidity. So nobody far distance can match his stupidity. The rest to some faint meaning may pretend. Now there may be some people who can show a bit of knowledge, a bit of uh, wisdom, but शेडवेल नेवर डेविएट्स इनटू सेंस. शेडवेल को आप किसी भी तरह से बुद्धि नहीं दिला सकते. शेडवेल कभी भी सद्बुद्धि की बात नहीं करता. यू कैन नॉट डाइवर्ट हिम इनटू सेंस. Some beams of wit on other souls may fall, strike through and make a lucid interval, but Shadwell's genuine night admits no ray. Please take a note of this. This may come for your examination. Some beams of wit on other souls may fall, strike through and make a lucid interval, but Shadwell genuine nights admit no ray, his rising fogs prevails upon the day. There may be some kings who may accept something of wisdom, but the Shadwell's stupidity, the skin of Shadwell's stupidity is so thick that it does not allow any kind of wisdom, any kind of intellect, any kind of good work to come inside. The rising fog prevails upon the day. It is so thick that nothing clear can be seen. Besides, his goodly fabric fills the eye and seems designed for thoughtless majesty. Now, he is not only fat and stupid in his brain, but also physically also he looks very dull, very fat, without shape, thoughtless as monarch oaks. Now, why he has been chosen? See, the king has to look for all the boxes कि हाँ ये भी है, ऐसा भी होना चाहिए, ऐसा भी होना चाहिए, and Shadwell fits into everything. उसका जन्म जन्म से लड़ाई है बुद्धि से. Physically also he is very dull, he is very fat, and author tells he compares him with an monarch oak, a huge tree which has only stand, has got no work, cannot move, that shade the plain, and spread in solemn state supinely reign. Haywood and Shirley were but types of thee, thou last great poppet of tautology. Now you, all these good people like Haywood and Shirley. Haywood was a very famous English author of interludes, and Shirley was a minor playwright. They both have got no value in front of Shadwell because he is the master and the great prophet of tautology. Tautology is continuously repeating the same thing, same idea, same reasoning without any innovation. Even dunes of more renown than they was sent before, but to prepare thy way. Now, here John Dryden is comparing Shadwell as a pure idiot, a dunce of more renown. Nobody on this earth was born as big idiot as Shadwell was sent, and every small stupid people, dull people, nonsense people made way for Shadwell was sent before to prepare this way, and coarsely clad in Norwich drugget came. Now Norwich is a small place in London, and it's a woolen dress in which he came to teach the nation in thy great name. Now, if you read the poem, it feels like somebody great, somebody immortal, as powerful as Odysseus or Achilles has taken the place. But if you see, it's all about singing the praise of stupidity. So, ending up, just remember a few points to remember that this John Dryden's personal attack on his rival. It's a mock heroic poem. It's a satire. It's an imaginary coronation of Shadwell. Macflano is retiring, and so he is looking for somebody to take after the throne. This very funny, dull, and out of shape body Shadwell has got, and he is the true hire as he denies every light of wisdom and common sense, and he is a master of illogical writing.